meeting to order and ask you to rise and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Verification of notice, Susan?
The meeting was properly noticed.
Okay. Public comment on anything which is not on our agenda for this evening? Once, going twice. Okay, we will move along. The next item would be approval of minutes from the September 19th, 2023 meeting. And we would entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further comments, discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Cambridge School District update. Dr. Baker, excuse me.
Oops, sorry.
Good evening, everybody. This is my annual visit to just share the glad tidings of what's been going on in the school district the last year. I'm Margie Banker. Good to see everybody here again this evening. What I just passed around and shared should have arrived in your mailbox in early August. This is our annual newsletter where we give sort of an update on what's been going on in the school district throughout the previous year. I like to just draw everyone's attention to the infographic that's on the inside cover because I think it just helps to, at a glance, tell the story of Cambridge schools. We operate under a budget of $16 million. You'll note that last year our mill rate was $8.88. And on the 30th of the month, a week-ish from now, we will be going with a lower mill rate than that. So we'll be down to $8.72. We've been working hard to control our spending, of course, and are appreciative to the community that supported the referendum to help us continue with our operational expenses. So that was successful in the spring and very much will sustain us for some years to come. So our gratitude to those who supported us. I also want to extend my gratitude on behalf of the Board of Education for the work on Blue Jay Way this fall. I think it has been a vast improvement for both safety and certainly for the quality of the road surface and the passenger or the pedestrian area and so forth. So thank you for prioritizing that and bringing that project to life. So I know everyone is expressing our gratitude. Again, it's my goal to come to your meeting at least once a year and have an opportunity to see how you conduct your business and to create an opportunity to share a little bit about what we're doing and how we are doing. Again, not in a referendum year or not coming with an ask, but really just coming to say thank you and to share a little bit of news about what we've been doing. So also in this flyer is something called the graduate profile. Last year we worked hard on creating this one-page expression of what it means to be a Cambridge High School graduate above and beyond the state requirements. So every school district in the state has requirements for content area knowledge that they have to have and credits when they graduate high school. But we conducted listening sessions all last year with businesses, families, parents, teachers, students, and created what people would call soft skills or the characteristics of a character when you graduate high school. So these are the kinds of things that a person would need to have to be day one ready to go and live in our community, to go on to whatever they choose to do after high school. So that was a point of pride for last year. We also annually include stuff that we've done to acquire grants to offset our expenses. So we have typically been able to upwards of $500,000 go after and achieve some grants. So we detail that in this flyer as well. So again, just an opportunity to say thank you, tell you what's been going on. We did have our annual meeting in August this year because we do cash flow borrow in the school district. That's part of the reason why we needed to go to referendum last year, is because we grapple with when the tax payments come in, and folks don't always know that, but we get a schedule of payments throughout the year, and hence we have to hold our annual meeting at that time. So, everybody else is working on their budgets. Ours has got a bow on it, and our part of the tax levy is going to be approved next week. So,
Good. Any questions for Margie? So I had I read something interestingly this morning that said more and more large corporations are walking away from hiring people with MBAs and are looking to hire people that have experiences.
right.
Is there a trickle down? Does that mean anything to you guys?
I mean, I
or-
think that there's been a shift in the almost 30 years that I've been a teacher and an educator from the sort of imperative for a four-year college education and more of a focus on getting kids ready for the world after they graduate high school in a variety of ways. That means vocational education. That means our apprenticeships and trades that we start kids doing in high school, working with area colleges to give kids opportunities to try that kind of thing on. So, I can't speak to the MBA piece, but I certainly recognize that the world of work has shifted, and we are trying harder in the public school system to help kids think about, their short-term and long-term plans. And we work on that in really specific ways with kids when they're ninth graders, and we start talking about, where do you think you want to be? What do you think you're going to need to study? What else do you need to know? In order to do that, it's not just, credits or classes, it's experiences. If that's working in a position on a farm, if that's working for a trade, if that's getting an opportunity to shadow somebody to see if you actually like it before you get there. So that's what I would say,
Okay,
notice about
good.
that.
Thank you. I
Right.
just
Thank
I
you.
read that this morning, but I've got the chance to
Yeah.
ask Marie tonight.
Yeah,
so.
right. I don't know the answer to that question. but- Anybody else have anything else they would like to ask or share? You're always welcome in our board meetings if you want to come and see how we do it. So,
Okay.
thanks,
Thank-
everybody.
Thank you.
Margie. Okay, Cambridge Community Fire EMS District Commission report. Sheila, anything?
I passed out the printed version. It's pretty much a short report for tonight. We have a meeting tomorrow night to hopefully move forward on some things that have kind of stalled out. The account balances that you see on here in the Badger Bank, we have in the checking account $75,650.56, in the savings account $170,000 $170.14 and then the other items listed there are the current loans. One is for the house, one is for the Plimo vent to vent the apparatus bays. The other two are for apparatus. So that's currently what I have access to. There is I believe $30,000 in the Bank of Deerfield. At this point, I'm working on getting the signature cards updated for that. There is also an account at Bank First that used to be an EMS account. Last time I heard about or looked at the balance of that, it was about $10,000. That one also is in the process of getting the signature cards updated. To date, as far as I know, the checks are still being stamped with Mark Cook's signature. Hopefully after we get our meeting tomorrow night, we'll get some things ironed out and move on. So that's what I have right now.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question? So they're being stamped with Mark Cook's signature, not Paul Ball's signature?
As far as I'm told, I have not been able to verify that. I have not seen the checks.
So if they're getting stamped with a signature stamp, Mark Cook's not having anything to do with them then? Somebody's just simply using his stamp?
Again, I haven't been able to verify that, but that's a valid question.
He's in the hospital, so I have to assume that.
Yep. We'll,
Okay.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
come to the
let's
meeting
see.
tomorrow.
That meeting is at,
6:30 in the Village of Cambridge.
thank you, Sheila. Discussion possible, I'll get it in a minute. Discussion and possible action on temporary Class B liquor license and operator's license for Jefferson County Snowmobile Alliance. Is there anyone here to speak to that issue?
KB's back here. I don't know if anybody has any questions on it. We came if anybody had any questions or
Why don't you just step up and just say briefly what it is that you're doing, and that's okay.
Excuse my attire. I came from teaching a fitness class.
That's okay. I came from not attending a fitness class, and I'm
I had to
dressed
hurry.
that way.
So we run King Blender Enterprises there on Highway 12. And based on some of the events that the JCSA has run the last couple months, we got canceled because of weather, low water. We do the Watercross Challenge up at Riverbend. And so their funds are a little deprived in that area. And King Blender is wanting to do an open house / customer appreciation as we've grown. And there's other companies that are also kind of in the same realm as us, and we see them doing kind of the same thing, wanting to be competitive and also help out Trail Fund, anything to do with like the snowmobile education classes through JCSA, everything like that. So it's kind of like a dual event for that.
And a lot of your guys' business is with the snowmobile.
Correct. Yes, that's our major output, especially for winter. And then being on the trail, it's just kind of like an advertise for ride in and get parts, give business to Deb and Kirk at Oakland Center, help out the Trail Fund with JCSA, the Jefferson Snowstormers, Fort Drift Skippers, like everybody in the area. We know everybody will be there. It's just, that's why we wanted to go with the association, so it kind of disperses in the more higher end.
Okay. Any questions? You have the application for temporary Class B retailer's license. This is beer and wine? Or
It's
just beer?
probably just like beer and seltzers.
Okay.
Nothing major. It's just the option to have, as some of the other competitors are having the same type of event.
Okay. Questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So you want two separate motions for this? One for the Class B liquor license
Let's
and
do the
one for
Class
the
B. Yeah, let's do the Class B first.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the temporary Class B liquor license for Jefferson County Snowmobile Alliance.
Yes, it would be through the JCSA.
Okay, motion. Any second?
Second.
Second. Further comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and now we have the operator's license for Brenda. And everything's there, so motion would be appropriate.
I'll move to approve the operator's license for Brenda Scaife.
Second.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Have a good time.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, discussion, possible action on garbage recycling contract for beginning in '24. At our last month, we received bids from Pelletieri, Johns, and LRS. You received a review of the proposals from staff and highlighting the things that each offers and some of the prices for each of them. Does staff have a recommendation for the board to consider?
First of all, I would like to thank all three companies for submitting a bid, for taking the time to submit a proposal to us. Based on the review of the proposals, LRS was the low bidder, and they are also going to provide $1,000 towards portable toilets, which should help our budget down at the boat launch. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay. Questions, comments? Anybody want to? Okay. We have a recommendation from the staff to award the contract to LRS. Motion would be appropriate.
So moved.
So moved, Mr. Jensen, second.
Second.
Second, Joy. Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay. item number 9 on the agenda comes from the October meeting, and we motioned to postpone it because there were issues going on with Mr. Pounder's health and things along that nature. I would recommend that we postpone consideration because John is, I guess, having surgery
I thought it was this week.
this week. I called and left a message the end of last week. I did not get a call back to talk to him, so I'm going to assume that Susan's information is correct. So I think that we should, at the earliest, push this till our November meeting for any further consideration. So barring any objections, I'm just going to continue that to the November meeting.
Appropriate to ask a question?
Sure.
When is the last time we considered anyone other than Pounder?
Been a long time. Been a long time. I know that when I bought in '09, that was when they did the reval. John was there. So I don't know. I've been on the board the longest, I think, Tom.
Yeah. It's only been John since I've been, and that was 2007.
Okay. So
Well, in reference to that, I'd like to make a motion to issue a request for qualifications for potential assessors.
okay, motion to do a request for qualifications. Any of you that don't know, quite often when government wants to bid something out, you go out and you find out whether or not there's lots of people that are qualified in your area or that are interested. The way you do that is you issue a request for qualifications where you say, we're looking at a contract for this service. We're interested in who offers this service, what your qualifications, abilities, things are. And that becomes an information piece for the board, which then if we decide that one of the concerns is, are there enough people in this area that do this work? So can we get that? That becomes a tool for the board then to sit back and have that discussion about, okay, there are people, there aren't people, we should hold on to what we've got, or no, let's go take a look and bid the market and see what it is. So I think that Joy's motion is something that will help the board, and we have John under contract through the end of the year to get us through anything that would take place. So I think we're fine there. And I am concerned too about his health. So do I have a second to that?
I second.
Okay. Any further questions?
May I ask a question?
Let me go ahead first.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
When is the appropriate time to make compliments or concerns concerning the public statements for pro or con for the assessor? Is it now, or is it the potential next upcoming meeting that may or may not be moved?
I think next upcoming meeting would probably be appropriate because we'll know more at this point. But again, I would encourage you, all of the town supervisors and myself have official town email addresses. Don't wait. If you've got something you want to say about it, please send. You don't need to send to all of us. We'll share. Okay. But send to one of us what your thoughts are, what your concerns are, what your questions are, and that's valuable. I know a couple of us got some emails this week already. Do that, and that's helpful. And then once we kind of get further down, and you may not need to ask your question, or you may want to ask more than that. So let's wait that way. Unless there's someone who can only be here tonight, and otherwise.
May I make another suggestion?
Sure.
There is also a Contact Us tab on our website. On the green ribbon along the top, if you click on Contact Us, you can send us an email that goes directly to the deputy clerk's desk, and she prints those off and puts those in the appropriate mailbox. So that is another way to do it as well.
Jana, you had something else?
I just had a question. So how do you disseminate the fact that you're looking for another assessor?
It's kind of the same way that you would do a bid, or you do kind of a form of a legal notice.
Okay.
I also am going to be at the Wisconsin Towns Association convention this next week. I think
Yeah, Monday.
Next week. There's usually a fair number of vendors that are at that meeting, so I'm going to look and see if any of those are assessors and stuff. But you would do an advertisement. You also contact professional associations, things like that, to let them know that you're seeking a request for. And the nice thing is that the request for qualifications doesn't require a rocket scientist to put it together. It's a pretty straightforward,
Well, and
simple
it
thing.
doesn't mean that we're not going to go with John Pounder in the end. It
Yeah.
just, we haven't researched what's out there.
Sure. It makes sense. I was just curious how the process worked.
It's not something that a lot of governments use, but it really does, it really can save a lot of time and make you a lot smarter. So I'm all in for being smart. Okay, any other questions on that?
Did we vote on it?
Yes, thank you. I was just going there. All those in favor of issuing an RFQ for assessment services, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, all set there. We will work on getting that done. So, set date to finalize 2024 town budget. We had a workshop and we put together the budget, and we found out that as we were getting closer that we weren't prepared to be complete tonight. We found out that we owe 31,000 something for Jefferson for a tanker. I neglected to put the engineering costs in for the Didion's construction process, so I've got to do that. What was the other? There was something. Oh, the road bid. We're putting in a grant for an LRIP bid on Bigelow Road, which, if you remember, we did most of it 6, 7 years ago and have never done the last almost mile. And so we put that in because that would be a relatively low-cost project, and this is only a $30,000 grant. So, but we won't know that. The award on those isn't until November 8th. So what we'll probably do is, and you'll see, we want to set a date for a meeting to put all those issues together. It's got to be after November 8th, and then we want to have it done by that weekend so that there's time to get it out before our November meeting. The November meeting, we will have a public hearing, we'll have an electors meeting. The electors will set the mill levy, and then we'll adopt the final budget after that, so that way everybody has a chance to get the budget. So we need to all look at our calendars and see what we can do with coming up with another working meeting. It should not be a long meeting, but we've got to do it either Thursday the 9th, Friday the 10th, or we could do it Saturday the 11th at some time. What would be your preference?
Thursday or Friday.
Okay. Anybody strong preference one way or another?
Yeah.
Probably Thursday.
Probably Thursday late afternoon or Friday morning is what I would want.
Define late afternoon, 4:30, what do you?
Sure.
Is your golf game, is it really that good? No.
No, I don't think we're going to be golfing in November.
Well, you might.
You don't know?
You never know.
So we're
Um,
talking Friday then?
I think
Oh,
Thursday,
Thursday,
let's, yeah, let's-
4:30,
Thursday, 4:30?
4:30 or 4 o'clock?
The 9th, yes.
4 o'clock works.
4 o'clock? Everybody consensus, 4 PM on Thursday, the 9th? Okay. If, when you get home and you look at your copy of the budget that you have, and you see something else that we need to get that taken care of, so, because we missed a couple other things, so.
So do you want me to send an email to Fort Fire as well? Is that, you, yeah,
That would
Okay.
be helpful.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay. We'll also at that time revisit the ARPA expenses that we've had and whether or not we want to use any ARPA money going into next budget year and where we want to use it. So, but again, that's, we did the big haul on that earlier this year, so. Okay. Correspondence, you've got stuff in your packet and you've got court dockets, all of that. So approval of disbursements.
I'll make a motion that we approve disbursements, beginning with check number 44299, through and including electronic funds transfer 615-34748, in the aggregate amount of $202,589.22.
Second.
Second.
Okay. Further questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next meeting dates. Thursday evening here at 6:30 is the Park Road Information Meeting. So if you know people that are interested, they should have, hopefully, although Joy didn't, they should have received a letter from the engineering firm advising of that. We're anticipating that to be about an hour and a half meeting. It'll be largely conducted by the engineer from Jewel and going through, he's got like a 10-foot layout of the entire project, which really kind of helps make sense out of it. So if people are interested, please figure on attending for that. So monthly board meeting, November 21st, and if you remember this Saturday, you've been invited to attend the Lake Management District's meeting as they brought in a speaker.
What time is that at
9.
again?
9 o'clock.
9
Right here?
9?
Yes, 9 o'clock here on Saturday. So, and I think you all received the study. I did not. It was like 77 pages. So I confess to not reading all of it.
Ted, can I just confirm, is the lectures meeting then on the 21st as well?
Yes, we will, actually, Jenna, we will do a public hearing on the budget first.
Okay,
When we're done with that, we'll make any changes,
Board meeting.
corrections, anything that needs to. We'll have the electors meeting to set the mill levy. We'll then pass the budget at a regular, we'll go into a regular board meeting and pass that, so.
okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Okay. I think a motion to adjourn would be all right.
Cool. I'm so moved.